Commander Raltor of the Veraxis Legion sat alone in the control room, watching the same footage again and again. His best warriors were gone, taken out without warning. The humans didn't use fancy weapons or big machines. They used shadows, silence, and traps. No bullets were fired. No alarms went off. His soldiers just vanished. It didn't make sense. Angry and confused, Raltor sent another squad, larger, stronger, and trained for elite missions. But they too disappeared without leaving anything behind. No signals, no wreckage, only silence. Fear started to grow among the mercenaries. They whispered to each other, "This isn't war, it's suicide." Many refused to take jobs involving humans, but one warlord, General Krax, didn't believe in fear. He believed in control. He made a plan to capture a human special forces soldier alive. Not kill, capture. His scouts tracked a lone human operative hiding on a rocky planet called Delta 5. They surrounded him, locked all exits, and moved in. But then something strange happened. The human did not fight. He calmly stepped out, dropped his weapon, and smiled. The smile wasn't friendly. It was calm, cold, and confident, like he knew something they didn't. And suddenly, everyone felt they had made a mistake. Commander Raltor couldn't sleep. The images haunted him, his finest warriors falling without a single sound, their bodies never found, their signals lost. He kept watching the same recordings, hoping to find a clue. But there was nothing. The humans didn't use firepower or massive tech. They used the dark. They set traps in silence and struck like ghosts. Furious, he sent in another unit, bigger and more brutal, hand-picked killers from across the galaxy. But this team also vanished. No explosions, no signs of a fight. Just gone. The silence that followed was worse than battle noise. Soon, word spread through the mercenary ranks. No one wanted to face humans anymore. Some said they weren't soldiers. They were nightmares wrapped in flesh. Fear moved like poison in the warlord ranks. But General Krax didn't fear anything. He thought it was a game of fear and tricks. So he made a plan: catch one alive. Not kill. Capture. Show the galaxy that humans bleed like everyone else. His forces hunted a lone human operative on Delta 5. After days of searching, they trapped him. He had no way out. But instead of fighting, the human raised his hand slowly and smiled. That cold smile made even the bravest alien step back. General Krax stood before the human prisoner, staring through the energy field that held him inside the cell. The man sat calmly on the floor, eyes closed, breathing slow like he was meditating. No fear, no anger, just silence. The guards didn't like being near him. They said the lights flickered when he opened his eyes. One guard swore he heard a strange voice when the human looked at him, like someone whispering inside his head. Another claimed the prisoner walked out of the cell and returned without opening the door. Krax called them fools, but he ordered guard changes every hour. Strange errors began appearing in the ship's system. Doors refused to open. Navigation failed. Cameras glitched when pointed at the human. Krax ordered a full-body scan. There were no implants, no hidden weapons. But one thing stood out. The human's brain activity was far beyond normal. His mind looked like a storm. Krax was about to order deeper tests when every screen on the ship suddenly went black. The engines died. The air felt colder. Then a single message flashed on every display, in every language known across the stars. "Let him go." Krax froze. That message didn't come from outside. It came from inside their own system. Alarms echoed through the ship, but nothing worked. Krax shouted orders, but his crew couldn't respond. The lights dimmed, the gravity shifted for a moment, and strange sounds filled the halls, like whispers coming from the walls. In the middle of it all, the human sat silently in his cell, untouched by the chaos. He finally opened his eyes, calm and focused, and spoke in a soft voice. "This is not your ship anymore. Krax stared at him, stunned. How could one unarmed man cause all this? The human explained nothing, only spoke of something called the ghost doctrine. It wasn't just training, it was a way of thinking. A way of becoming invisible, not only to machines but to the mind itself. He said human special forces were shaped in darkness, taught to fight without noise, without fear, without leaving traces. They didn't use power. They used control. Krax tried to act strong, but deep inside, he felt something he had never felt before: helplessness. Then the human said something worse. "I didn't do this. I only opened the door. The others are already coming." As those words sank in, the ship's sensors picked up something. Dozens of tiny signals, all around them, waiting in complete silence. The signals grew stronger, surrounding the ship like a quiet storm. Dozens of small crafts, invisible to most scanners, floated just outside firing range. No messages came from them. No demands. They didn't attack. They simply watched. The crew panicked. Some tried to run, but doors refused to open. Others dropped their weapons and fell to their knees. Krax felt his chest tighten. These weren't warships. They were ghosts in space, designed to hunt, not fight. The human stood up inside his cell and looked straight at the main camera. "They don't want war," he said softly. "They want silence." Krax didn't understand. Silence from what? The human answered. "From the truth. That Earth is not weak. That we've changed. And now everything must stay quiet." Krax suddenly realized what was happening. Mercenary fleets who had taken human contracts had vanished. Not destroyed. Erased. No wreckage. No signals. Just gone. It wasn't about power anymore. It was about warning. A message to the galaxy. Don't interfere with humans. Don't even look at them the wrong way. The warlords were scared. Not of death, but of disappearing without a trace. Krax looked at the human once more. The prisoner didn't need to escape. He already won. The next morning, General Krax did something no warlord had ever done before. He walked to the prisoner's cell, deactivated the energy field, and stood aside. The human stepped out slowly, calm and quiet. He didn't speak. He didn't run. He simply nodded, as if everything had gone exactly as planned. No guards stopped him. No weapons were raised. He walked through the halls like a shadow and vanished into the docking bay. A moment later, one of the silent crafts outside the ship disappeared with him. The rest stayed for a few more minutes, watching, then drifted away like ghosts into the stars. After that day, no one ever spoke the human's name. Krax deleted every file. Other warlords erased their records. Mercenaries turned down all human-related contracts, no matter the reward. The fear was too deep now. Across the galaxy, a rule was quietly accepted: never engage human special forces. Don't fight them. Don't follow them. Don't even speak of them. Because if you do, they'll know. And you won't get a second chance. The humans had changed the game, not with force, but with fear. Not with words, but with silence. And in that silence, the galaxy finally understood who the real predators were.